We're back talking about Emiru once again because of her situation with Twitch. If you don't remember, Emiru was at TwitchCon when a crazed fan came up to her and basically attacked her, grabbed her, and attempted to kiss her on the mouth without her consent. Fortunately, he was unable to kiss her, but this was a major security incident at Twitch, and Twitch mishandled it horribly. If you remember, even Twitch's first couple statements were so bad, they all got community noted. As this community note here says, Twitch staff originally allowed the assailant to walk away and only apprehended him and escorted him out when they were pressed to do so by Emiru's manager. So yeah, basically, after Emiru was attacked, Twitch security allowed for the person to walk away in what they then said was completely unacceptable and deeply upsetting. He got away. They refused to do anything about it. Emiru said that she had overheard Twitch security guards at TwitchCon laughing about it and joking about it instead of doing something about it. And the only reason they ever tracked him down was because Emiru's manager, obviously upset that Emiru was attacked at a Twitch event and that Twitch security did nothing. I'm pretty sure there were threats of a lawsuit issued. In fact, I can almost guarantee there were threats of a lawsuit issued because of what we're talking about today. That's right. Today we're talking about this tweet here. Twitch is proud to announce a contribution of $100,000 to Take Back the Night to support programs designed to help prevent a certain type of violence, including support for victims of assault. We thank Twitch creator Emiru for her advocacy in support of these efforts and her continued work to help bring awareness to these important issues. Now, that was PR speak, and not particularly good PR speak. I mean, we thank Twitch creator Emiru? Why are they just calling her Twitch creator? This is Twitch's account. Why didn't they just say we thank Emiru? Why do they have to specify that she's not just a creator, but a Twitch creator? That's bizarre wording to me. And then they go on to say that they're thanking her for her advocacy in support of these efforts and continued work to help bring awareness to these important issues. And the problem that I have with that statement is the only reason she's an advocate of it is because she's a victim of it, right? She was victimized at TwitchCon because of Twitch's lacking security. And one thing that they don't mention here is that they're doing this donation as part of a settlement with Emiru. That's right, Emiru obviously could have filed a massive lawsuit against Twitch, and turns out she didn't do that, but we also know for a fact that this is part of the settlement because Emiru said so. So let's take a listen to exactly what Emiru said, and then we'll compare that to this tweet right after you hit that like button.
Sorry, I've been streaming a while, I feel so awkward. People were recommending a lot of different things, but I didn't really want to drag it out. And I also wanted there to be some kind of like public resolution since it was a public issue. And then if you take things to court, they tend to become private. And I was like, that's not really what I want to do. So, I basically asked them for a list of things and they agreed to all of them. And, I think you guys probably saw some of the tweets that they made. And they mentioned it in one of the tweets, but one of the things that I asked for that was like important to me was I asked if they would do a $100,000 donation to a violence protection charity, and they said yes. So they're probably gonna do that in about a month, and they'll post about that when they do that. So,
as you just heard there, Emiru had asked for a donation to a violence prevention charity, and this is obviously what she was talking about, right? It hasn't exactly been a month since she made the statement on November 11th, but it seems quite obvious that this is the payment that she was talking about, which means that this was made as part of a settlement. Now, in this, you'll note that they didn't apologize to Emiru, that they didn't say that it's part of a settlement, they just said they thank Twitch creator Emiru. I can't get over how weird the wording is there. I probably shouldn't be too surprised, considering every other time they've apologized to Emiru or said something about Emiru, they've just completely mishandled it. I mean, in this response here, they didn't even name Emiru. They just called her a high-profile streamer, which was insane. They couldn't even name her. They were so scared of her, they couldn't say her name because they were worried she was going to sue them. Recently, though, they did issue another apology, and this is another thing that I think was done as part of the settlement that Emiru was alluding to, because they issued this statement here saying, "We wanted to follow up on the post we recently made about a security incident at TwitchCon San Diego." Now, of course, keep in mind, this was published in November. TwitchCon was like a month before that. So when they say recently, I'm not sure what they mean. As many of you know, at the 2025 TwitchCon San Diego event, one of our valued creators, Emiru, was assaulted by an attendee during a meet and greet event. Although Twitch works very hard to try to keep TwitchCon attendees safe. Yeah, they work incredibly hard. That's why they let him not just do it, but get away with it, and didn't do anything about it till hours later when forced to under threat of lawsuit, and prevent incidents like this from happening. We failed to do both things in this case, to keep Emiru safe and to prevent the assault from happening. We deeply regret the distress we caused for Emiru, our other creators, and the entire community. In recognition of Emiru's advocacy, Twitch will be making a donation to support nonprofit organizations working to prevent violence. More details on that to follow soon. So even in this statement, they just say they're doing this in recognition of Emiru's advocacy, and that's why they're making a donation. They don't mention that it's part of the settlement like Emiru alluded to here. I mean, she basically said she didn't want to take it to court because she didn't want things to be kept private, so she decided to settle with them. No mention of that here, none at all, which is crazy. And then also Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, issued his own apology to her at the same time as this tweet went up. We take a look at this. He said, Twitch failed in our response to the assault of Emiru at the 2025 TwitchCon San Diego. And in particular, I failed to communicate clearly in talking about the incident afterwards during an interview. I do not believe and in no way intended to suggest that Emiru had any responsibility whatsoever for the incident at TwitchCon. Now, this is referring to an interview that he did at the time where he said something along the lines of, if you take more control of your community, maybe these things won't happen. Obviously, he didn't mean for that to come out as badly as it did, but he really didn't do himself any favors saying stuff like that. I have a great deal of empathy for what creators such as Emiru have to deal with every day. I was trying to express that, and I did that poorly. I am sorry to let you down, Emiru, and I am sorry Twitch let you down. We appreciate all you have done over the years on Twitch, and we are committed to continuing to improve our TwitchCon security, processes, and communications so that we can show up better for you and all of our other creators moving forward. Honestly, I don't know why this guy hasn't resigned yet. He's completely mishandled this entire thing. And then if we scroll down, you can see his tweet actually got community noted as well, not to be confused with the other community note, which is on the tweet that Twitch put up first. So here we have Twitch lied multiple times about the incident, letting the assailant go and withholding evidence from authorities. Dan Clancy partied while victim blaming Emiru, who he called a friend. And then Nina Lin was banned, then quietly unbanned a week later. Incompetence. So what this community note is talking about is, as we said, Twitch let the guy get away. Later on, they found out who he was. But according to Emiru, after Twitch found out who he was and knew his name, they were withholding his name from the police because Twitch didn't want to get sued for turning the guy who assaulted one of their largest female creators over to the police after he assaulted her on camera in front of hundreds of people. Yeah, nobody's ever accused Twitch of being competent. Dan Clancy partied while victim blaming Emiru. The same night that Emiru was assaulted, Dan Clancy was videoed partying and dancing at a TwitchCon party. Then the Nina Lin thing is a woman who is accused of assaulting, I think now multiple men, live on stream, and Twitch has given her barely any punishment, just like short bans. It's ridiculous. Twitch just doesn't know what they're doing at all. They're just completely incompetent. As this top comment here says, just put the resignation in the bag already. I don't understand how Dan Clancy is still at the helm of Twitch. Doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And just to remind you guys, Emiru was a little upset because when they posted their first response to this, right, the one where they didn't name her, she said that they'd never even reached out to her first.
See the Twitch tweet that I believe went out yesterday? I was literally in a Discord call with my friends and they were like, did you see that Twitch apologized to you? And I was like, wait, what? So, yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is they put out that tweet. I was never apologized to privately. They put that out without, consulting me or anything. I didn't know that they were gonna do that, so that was, yeah. I mean, I'm glad that, they're trying to, take some level of accountability, but there's a lot of things that they didn't mention in the tweet that I feel like should have been mentioned.
So yeah, Twitch has mishandled this situation constantly, and I think that they're doing it again by just putting up this PR-coded statement instead of saying that they're actually just donating this on behalf of Emiru. I've said this a couple times already, but it really bothers me how they called her a Twitch creator in this tweet. I don't understand why they have to mention that she's a Twitch creator. Just creator would be fine, but you don't even need that because anybody who's reading this and cares about it is gonna know who Emiru is, so it's just bizarre. And also, I can't state again how disgusting I think it is that Twitch is saying, oh, her advocacy in support of these efforts and her continued work to help bring awareness to these important issues, when these important issues are something that she's only had to advocate for because of Twitch. She became an advocate because she was victimized at TwitchCon. She was attacked at TwitchCon because Twitch didn't have competent security, even after the CEO had told everybody that they were going to have incredibly good security this year. So the whole situation disgusts me. I am not happy with how Twitch handled any of this. I think they're incompetent. I think they need new leadership. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day and God bless you.